Chers auditeurs,
dear listeners,
bonjour.
welcome to Comme d'Archi Podcast Season 5.
Saison 5, dans le monde fascinant des architectes.
And in the architectural projects.
Je suis Anne-Charlotte Deponte, passionnée d'architecture et docteur des universités en histoire de l'archi.
I am one of the spokespersons of Anne-Charlotte, who is a PhD in architecture history.
Merci.
Thank you.
D'être avec moi aujourd'hui.
To be with us today.
Et
And
maintenant,
now,
lundi en français, place au talent.
and Wednesday, let's talk projects. In English, of course.
Bienvenue dans Comme d'Archi.
Hello everyone. Hello Aurélien Delchet. Thank you for being with us today. You are architect. In 2 or 3 sentences, could you introduce us to your architectural practice?
Good. Hello. Hello. My name is Aurélien. I'm an architect. I am a co-founder of Atelier Georges. We founded the practice 10 years ago with Ivan Okotnikov, Mathieu Delorme, and Thibaut Barbier. And we recently involved a 5th one called Aline Cauchy. We are, this is a mixed practice, as 3 of us are architects and 2 others are landscape engineers. And we practice mostly in urban design, public realm, architecture.
You just delivered a famous project?
Yes, we did indeed. As we just delivered 2 buildings for the Olympic Village in Paris. This is for the Olympic Games Paris 2024. They will take place very soon. 2 buildings, 25 and 21 apartments. For 3 phases, the Olympic Games, the Paralympic, and then they will be converted to social housing. It's been a very great experience, especially in
a big challenge.
Yeah, it was a big challenge and a really mad dash, I would say, as the delays were the time we had to conceive the project was really short, and we were all there was the lockdown too, and it was a real challenge in that way. Because we had to reinvent somehow the way we work and collaborate all together, and very serious ambitions, environmental ambitions on both buildings.
Yes. So now can you tell us about Mellinet project in Nantes, a big town in the west of France?
It's in Nantes. It was 7 years ago. An office, a urbanist, knocked at our door to ask us if we wanted to team up and think about the project, as we were fairly young at this time. Like the office was 2 to 3 years old, I think. And they wanted to team up on a project. It was the conversion of a military camp. Right in the center of Nantes, next to the train station. It's like 20 minutes walking distance from the train station. And it was quite a challenge too, because there's a huge plot of land. It's 16 hectares, and we were meant to develop something like 1,700 homes. So we started to think the project, but there were many constraints about this project. There was been a study made prior to our contract that was mainly resolving the density regarding the direct environment, the tiny homes. The conditions are, the people living there, they're great. You live in the center of Nantes. You have a town house with a garden, and you hear the local elected people, the local authorities, that there will be tomorrow, 10 to 15 years, which is nearly tomorrow, 1,700 homes, mixed use buildings. So people tend to, I would say, freak out. It's not good English, but they were worried about what was going on. And we said, instead of going against them and just inform them what the project will look like, we said, we can develop another approach and involve them, sharing their expertise of the way the urban fabric worked, and get them involved in the process to deal with the density, the quality of the public realm, what should be done, the heritage of the site, as it was a military base, very good quality architecture from the early 20th century. Granite blocks in the corner, very nice frames, the local roofing system coming from Angers, the black stones, I don't know the name in English, but something very precious. And so we started to think how we could deal with this and plan the project and think about the public realm, define everything. It was a urban design project, as I said earlier. So Georges at this time was really young and we were a bit crazy and we wanted to control everything or get involved into all the subjects. So we have like the public realm schemes, the landscape that goes with it, the urban design, very attached to some things we wanted to develop or experiment over there, the public consultation or how to build the project in a more collaborative way to make sure that people who will live there in a couple of years after we deliver the first buildings, they would get along with the public realm and make sure they feel like they belong to that new area. And we even had the reflection on a tiny building that we, within the contract, we had to refurbish a building or to propose a space for everyone within the area, within the quarter. So people would gather, there would be an association, a local association that would communicate on the project, gather people, generate events, concerts, life in an area, right? That was it.
A lot of village.
Yeah, the main approach, as the urban fabric around it was had many different singularities. So some of them, they had good qualities or archetypes organized around something typical from Nantes, a public realm scheme, or some other corners. They had like a couple of shops that would generate urban intensity. Some others would have like very intuitive connection with the rest of the fabric, like a proper main axis that go through it. And it was very localized. So we decided to approach the project, plan it, and say, this is not a new area, actually. This is the extension of what was going on around, and making sure that all the uses, the new uses, would be complementary to already exist. And what already exists enriches the new developments, or I'd say no new neighborhood, it's the new developments, and make sure that there's a continuity in between the old fabric with the new one.
And something else about architecture?
About architecture, yes, we worked a lot on build form just to make sure that the sewing, the urban sewing, the fabrics would work. So we had city homes on the side, and so we don't put like a high-rise building next to it. Like, so I was trying to be very sensitive about what we were doing and developing it with and making sure that the building would not put someone's garden into a shade. So that was very refined, and we put some expectations on the carbon footprint. So the buildings are being built right now, they use timber structures, claddings, or the insulation is made of hay. We had that focus on the project, and we developed that building. It's just a refurbishment of an old restaurant for the higher hierarchy in the army. I'll say it this way. And so it's a tiny building. And we helped Nantes Métropole Aménagement, the client, we helped them to define the uses of that program. So the intervention on the architecture building is very prior to the first drawings, as we identify the association that will help to run the business over there. And then once this was done, the program was set with the client and the future inhabitants and the residents next door. We started to design something very simple and rational, low cost, very frugal. And if we even used the local material from the demolition, like the granite blocks, we would just reinsert them into the building to open a new door. It doesn't look like so. In terms of effort, it wasn't much. But it meant a lot for the area. It meant a lot for the people living there. We were there with my business partners 10 days ago. They were camping, not camping, sorry. They were having a picnic outside the building, using the indoor facilities. it's a really, it's the heart of the neighborhood where everything, or there's a really great urban intensity around that building. And this is where I find a good satisfaction as a urban designer or an architect. Like, is people just get to use the building the way they want, and what we plan is actually in phase with what people expected, without really talking to them like one by one. That appropriation of the building and the site is just fantastic. It works with the public realm schemes. All the landscape we designed, as still it was the same person. I mean, Georges. Like we had many skills in our pockets to think about the project. Yeah, to design. So it's like the continuity.
Bravo.
It's great.
Yes. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Bye everyone, and see you next Wednesday for New Comme d'Archi in English. Take care of yourself. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
And thanks to the sound engineer who was collaborating with us today.
Don't forget to tune in to our previews on Instagram at Comme d'Archi Podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, don't hesitate to promote it by giving it 5 stars and a little comment on Apple Podcast or on your favorite podcast platform. And above all, subscribe to listen to all of our episodes for free. See you soon, and until then, take care of yourself.